there. Welcome back to Liquid Lunch. We've got Naval Bajaj. Did I say that right, Naval?
That's right.
Joining us here, and we're going to talk about
more politics.
More. That's right. It's very political today, isn't it?
It's very political and creative. There's this theme here. It's politics, artists. It's kind of cool.
That's true, actually.
Yeah.
And it's funny, Naval, you came in here, and here was Rakesh and your buddies here. Did you know? I didn't know that you guys knew each other. It's just.
I think mostly, when you are one thing. That's one thing lovely about when you try to serve on different things. Which, in the past I was the president for the Indo-Canada Chamber of Commerce. Many other organizations I was involved. And that's the fun of community life. That's the fun of a public life. That you meet so many people.
Plus they met at a liberal body painting party. You're liberal body painting, right? Body painting the liberal sign.
Well, it's funny though. No, it's funny though because we had Viresh here today, who's going for the Liberal nomination in Scarborough Rouge River, and I know you're on the blue side. You're a conservative member of the Conservative Party, and let's talk about that a little bit because we're going to have some provincial election coming up in the near future. We just had a federal election. Let's talk about conservatism, large C, in Ontario and Canada today, and because we just had a big change at the federal level from provincial to from Conservative to Liberal, and I know people in Ontario, I don't think they're very happy with the current Liberal government. So where do we go from here?
I think not only people are not happy with the current Ontario government, I don't think people in the first few months very happy with the federal side also. But let's, as you started with the provincial side, see, we all know what we are going through. Today, this is the province which is more than 300 billion deficit, which is more or less throughout the world one of the poorest province, you can say. We see what we are paying for our hydro bill. What is scandal after scandal. So many, RCMP investigation going on, and still the lesson is not learned by the provincial Liberals. And Kathleen Wayne is just not only ruining the whole overall structure, but putting Ontario just in a bigger and bigger hole.
But I thought she's going to solve all those problems by selling off our great public assets.
But do you think that's the right thing to do?
No, but it was the Conservatives that sold off the 407.
You know what? You can't. One of the things is that the infrastructure is one of the important stuff. And at least we have a good infrastructure. On that particular side, when you speak about the 407 side, but just see here what we are doing. It's not about selling the public assets, but how much we are paying more on our hydro bill.
But I mean, why aren't? If that's the case, why did she get elected back again?
See, what happens is when we speak about the federal side, we know how the overall things happen. 10-year, I think overall a good government. But there are certain things which sometimes put in a wrong way, and it's about the sometimes about the campaign, some about how the things goes, sometimes how the perception is created, and things don't go on a right side. But in the few months itself, one of the things which our strong message always was strong economy, job creation, and you see that last year if we see. Prime Minister, that time the Prime Minister Harper used to keep on speaking about balanced budget. It's good to see that we were able to balance the budget last year. And what we see now, the first quarter of this year, the numbers which are coming, which is showing more or less $90 billion deficit.
So are you blaming Trudeau on that?
Oh, you know what? It's a reckless spending, or not at all focused on job creation. All the false promises, whatever the promises were done, how many promises so far we see that have been honored? Not really. So at the end of the day, one of the things is there that any debt which goes on the country, any deficit which is there, sooner or later we pay. We as citizens pay for it. We as a residents pay for it. So neither a good job done at present federally and provincially. We have the track record of Wayne government, who is just, I don't know what to say about also.
I just don't. I mean, but how did she get back in again? Like, that to me is stunning.
See, some of the things again. Things happens when the last election we know what happened, and sometimes the messages are not gone properly or not communicated properly, and things goes wrong sometimes.
But there was so much scandal with Dalton McGuinty, so much scandal around that. I can't believe that Wynne got in after all of that scandal, unless and I don't know if you can speak to this more than I can. Is there a psychological spillover from a federal level to a provincial level, so people who couldn't stand Harper would not vote for on a provincial level for Conservative government, no matter what the Liberal government did?
I don't think so. That at least I can say last provincial election, there was no. According to me, there was no spillover because good track record. See what people today talk about Prime Minister, that time the Prime Minister Harper. People now recognize all the great work he had done. We see when we speak about international level, we speak about a federal level, we speak about the provincial level. You can see the good work being done. And you recently saw not only that last weekend where I was in Vancouver for the convention, and Conservative Party not only recognized Harper for his great deed, but you heard from Prime Minister Trudeau also that his commitment and some of the great work done by Prime Minister in the last 10 years. And that's where we today also strongly stand when we speak globally. Today also Canada stands strong on some of the things by what the Conservative government had done in the last decade. And the same thing you speak about immigration or any of the issues you can speak up. We did a good job in immigration. Sometimes things are not perceived in a proper way, and message don't go right. But I'm very positive that in the upcoming provincial election, where we have a good young dynamic leader, and he's a good friend of mine.
Who is the
also,
leader? I don't even know.
Patrick Brown. Patrick Brown used to be the member of parliament at the federal side, and then he was chosen the leader last year.
So
he's
going
doing
to be
really
the leader.
well.
He's going to be the leader going into the next election.
Yeah.
Provincial.
He's not an interim leader. He's the leader.
No, he's the leader.
Okay.
And he's doing really well. And I think he's holding Liberals accountable in the province. He's holding Liberal accountable for all the issues which is going on. Mm-hmm. And I'm very positive. Not only positive, but I'm 100% confident that the next provincial government will be a Conservative government.
I think it's going to be time for a change the next time. I really think people are sick of these Liberals. And one of the reasons that I am not happy is because they are talking about selling these public assets like Hydro One, or whether, no, but it was the Conservatives that sold off the 407. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, when you're selling off these public assets, no matter who it is, whether it's Liberal, Conservative, anybody else, like, this is the well-being for every citizen in the province in the long run.
I don't think
so. We might get a little bit of money in the door. Maybe the balance sheet looks better that year, but in the long run, we're all worse off for it. But I think that there's international pressure on every government, no matter which party, to sell off these crown jewels. And so I would really love to hear from the Conservative Party, if they do become elected in Ontario, that they're going to preserve the wealth that the people of this province have created.
And I think that's the main plan, because one of the things is way the Conservative government has focused is focus on businesses. We have always been a advocate of low taxes, which helps to grow the business. Job creation. It's all about job creation. It's about how we create the job, how we provide a good infrastructure, a good overall structure where businesses can grow, where there is a good job creation going on. And once you have a good job creation market going on, then naturally you don't need to sell any of the stuff. In fact, your focus has to be a balanced budget. You cannot go for a deficit. Economic development is very important, and having a key focus on the budget, the key focus how we spend our money.
Yeah.
We need to spend the money wisely, which is for the people. We keep that in the mind, and we spend properly the money, which is going to just bring us back on the balancing budget, and it's going to put back Ontario on the right map.
Mm-hmm. Is there any intention to increase taxes?
We are not the government who believes in increasing taxes. We were very clear when we went for the last federal election. Conservative Party on our manifesto was very clear. We are not going to increase the taxes. We in fact have lowered the tax. Who lowered the GST? It's Liberals promised it, never delivered it. That was the Conservative who lowered that. Not only 5 to 6, 7 to 6, and 6 to 5. We always believe in lowering the business taxes. We reduced the business taxes by close to 20 points. So small businesses flourished. If you see the numbers of the small business flourished in the last Harper government, that's amazing. So we don't believe in increasing the taxes, whether it's a business tax or whether it's a personal tax. Talk about the childcare. Talk about any other thing which we did for the public side.
One of the things that because job growth, economic growth is all going to happen from the private sector. If it's happening from the public sector, then we're doing something wrong, right? Because all that money
should be going to
is
the public.
taxed out of individuals and private businesses. So we really have to, whoever's in government needs to let the private sector do what they can do best.
And in private sector also, one of the things which, if you see the major economies of the world, which focuses on the small businesses. Small and medium businesses are basically the
engine.
Is the backbone of the economy. And me, with my past experience as a president for the Indo-Canada Chamber of Commerce, again, where the SME is the main focus, we have to work on the plans. We have to work on the things which really benefits the small businesses. Small and medium businesses, we need to grow them.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Naval, this has been great. I know it hasn't been a long conversation, but politics is a never-ending conversation, right? So would love to have you back sometime. Maybe we can do something on an ongoing basis.
For sure.
To get this kind of political conversation happening, because, sometimes I'm a little skeptical. We're not getting that in Parliament. You look at question period, it seems like a grade 4 debating society after the teacher has left the room. You know what I mean? So anyway, this has been a great conversation. And if people want to maybe support your work in politics or get involved with the Riding Association or something like that, how can they get in touch with you?
See, they can always connect with me on my website, which is www.navalbajaj.ca. They can always email me, naval@navalbajaj.ca, and they can call me anytime. Public life is 24/7, so it's...
I thought that was just real estate.
No, you know what? No, believe me, it's one good thing about it is, I consult, I'm a business consultant with 7-Eleven, which is a 24/7, and then in my public life, it's a 24/7. So
no
I'm
change.
okay. My wife in the middle of the night when the phone rings is no more.
She doesn't wake up anymore.
No one gets under the pressure. It's okay. It's Naval's. He will deal with his business and he will move on. So,
but people can also wait till the morning before they right?
But some things needs to be some things needs to be taken care in the when it needs to be. But overall, it's good to be always here. Thanks for inviting. Right. My urge to people is really look into what is good for overall for all of us. And I think it's not because I'm a conservative I'm saying this. But I when I stepped myself into this also, there was a lot of thought process I put before I joined the Conservative Party. That's a party which is focused on businesses, focused job creation, and overall good for the economy, and which is very important for any country or for our house also, for our families also.
Absolutely.
So thank you again.
Thank you, Naval. Thank you so much.
Thanks. All right, so great conversation. We are going to take just a little bit of a break, and we've got June Garber coming up.
And we get to hear
jazz.
jazz.
Time for some jazz with
Oh,
June. And
Jazz with June.
Cigna is still waiting in the wings. So we will continue here at ThatChannel.com.